now that I've got the plywood laid down, the OSB really, it's time to put my vinyl flooring down. This is leftover from what we put in the house. We actually got enough to do our 2,000 square foot house for $600 at auction. So strongly recommend auctions for building supplies. But we had a little bit left over, and because I'm a pack rat, we still have it, which is great because now I'm gonna put it down in the chicken coop. This stuff is gonna be great because it's gonna make things super easy to clean. And that's more important here because this coop is small. I'm not physically gonna be able to get in there to clean. So because it's vinyl, basically think linoleum if you're old school like me, you can probably just like sweep it out or pull it out with a push broom, which is functioning as a pull broom in that case. And it's gonna be great. It's heavy. So this is one place where I'm really happy that I went with a smaller dimension coop because I can lighten the load as I work on this. The roll of vinyl flooring I'm working with is 8 feet wide, so I have to do a little trimming. Now I purposely cut more off the roll than I needed, and I did that because I do want it to go up the sides of the coop whenever possible, because that'll help capture the poop instead of having it kind of collect in corner seams, you know, that gets kind of gnarly. If poop gets under there, it'll rot it out in a big hurry. So I'm kind of thinking cleanliness and maintenance and longevity here. So on this side, I'm actually going to create a hinged down door where the chickens can access the great blue yonder when they are allowed to do that. And then on the front side of the coop over here, I'm going to create a trim that's going to overlap right here. So I'm going to cut this here so that this will lay flat. And then I'm going to trim it on the inside here of this hole. This hole is going to allow the chickens to access this upper story of the coop via a ramp. And again, I'm going to cut it oversized so that I can fold down this flooring and poop won't collect on the OSB. Then over here, I'm going to do something really similar. I'm going to trim this one probably out to about here so that it'll fold up for the siding there. Now the back is going to be a little bit different because that's where the access for the nesting boxes is going to be. So I don't want it to overlap hugely over here, because when I access that via a hinged wall, essentially, I don't want that flooring to bunch up and get in my way. Then if I don't like it, because I've gone oversized, I can always accommodate the change. Another nice thing about working with this vinyl flooring is that you don't need a huge amount of specialized tools. Just a razor blade knife will do the trick. I also really love that this has a pattern on it that I can follow. So the imitation hardwood flooring has these lines on it to represent different boards, and I can just cut along there, and there's my straight edge. And there we are. So as you can see, this flap is going to extend down. I did cut a couple of more slits just to get it to lie the way I need it to lie. I did get a strip to lie down over here because if you recall, I have a gap in my OSB over there. Now, if I wanted to get crazy, I could cut a little scrap of OSB and secure it in place there. But again, no chicken's ever going to stand there, so I'm not too wound out about it. This is going to kind of fold down, and the idea, again, is no poop collection points. So here's how I'm going to attach this down, and it's exactly what I did in the house, so there's no reason to change it up now. This is a special double-sided tape, and it actually has threads in it, and it's very strong and it's very sticky. And after over 2 years, probably pushing 3 years of traffic in the house, it's holding up just fine. So I am confident this is gonna do the trick. All right, I got my long strip of tape down. Now I'm gonna take off the upper portion, which which is usually the fun part with double-sided tape of any variety. Oh yeah. And then what I learned when I was doing the house is that the trick to this is to try to pull it back as flush to the tape itself as possible, because otherwise it'll bunch up on you. And to that end, sometimes it pays to make your strips shorter over longer. Okay, we're in good shape there. Now they have a roller tool for this when you're doing it in a house or residential application, I should say. I'm not going to get my roller out for that. This will work just fine. One of the reasons that this is going to work great today is because it's warm and sunny out, and this stuff is very reactive to temperature. So in the summertime it expands, and in the wintertime it contracts. This tape, I have found, will prevent it from contracting too much. So it's good to put it down when it's warm, because then it'll hold the flooring in place when it's cold. In this particular instance, I have an interior corner, so I've put down my 2 strips of tape first. I'm going to take the top layer off of both of them at the same time, and then I'm going to push them out. And the reason I'm doing that is because I would never get back underneath here in order to take that top layer of tape or adhesive protectant paper, whatever you call it, off once this one is down, and vice versa.